Hi, Mom.
Mom.
What's up, guys? Today we have the review of the Nike KD10. Roll that intro. Alright, so the KD10, what is it? It is Nike's 10th installment in the KD line. Has a full one-piece Flyknit upper, super comfortable material, really breathable too, and features full-length Zoom cushioning. So yeah, as most of you know, Zoom is just a really versatile cushion that Nike's been using for, as long as I've been alive. The way that they have it set up in this shoe with the full-length setup just gives it a really good blend of being both really supportive and cushiony, bouncy, everything you're looking for, while also staying pretty reactive. Like I've had a pretty good experience with it so far.
I thought the comfortability of the shoe was really good. On the Flyknit upper makes me want every pair of shoes I wear to be made out of Flyknit. It's got to be the most comfortable material that Nike's ever came out with.
Yeah, for sure. It's like super soft. Like until you put a foot or hand, whatever it is, onto these shoes, it's really hard to explain, but it's a lot like wearing just like nice fuzzy socks. Like this is the single most comfortable material that you will ever have a shoe be made out of. And it just looks nice. Like everything about this shoe, it's got a really nice silhouette. On foot it looks great, to me at least. And just kind of the pattern of this
cookies and cream colorway is awesome. I really like the red velvet as well.
Yeah, that one's sick.
But this cookies and cream colorway, I'm messing with it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It works well with like a lot of different outfits too.
Last thing, I thought the traction for playing on an outdoor court was really good on these. Which kind of steps into the cons for the instability a little bit. The traction's almost too good for how flat the bottom of the shoe is.
Yeah, the traction, it has a really nice bite. Like this circle pattern that it has, it bites against the ground really well. But it's just not a very stable design. Between being so flat and narrow, the entire shoe just feels like really wobbly. So when you get that traction bite, it just really feels like the ankle wants to go. And that's a combination of a lot of things on the shoe, between, like I said, the flat, narrow base, and then also Flyknit. The con of how stretchy and comfortable it is that it doesn't have the most security. They use two different blends of it, one that's more loose and one that's a little bit tighter. Both of them are on this shoe. But even with that slightly tighter bend, it still just doesn't quite hold your foot as well as, a synthetic or some of the different meshes that we're working with these days will.
And I will say, I felt that jumping. I felt like I almost had to have the perfect foot placement to get a really good bounce out of the shoe, and I don't know if that was just me personally thinking about it too much, trying to come up with a good review for this shoe, but I really did. I felt an instability. I'm more of a 2-foot jumper, and I felt like if I didn't get that left foot planted right, I just didn't go anywhere. I felt like I could barely get up at all. And so that's kind of frustrating when you come up a little bit off on an oop or something, or your steps are just a little bit off and you just don't jump.
Yeah.
I want a little bit more reliability out of the shoe.
Yeah. Feels like when it works great. But I don't expect it to work every time that I do it.
You almost go in a little cautious, a little hesitant as you're coming up to the rim.
Yeah, I like jumping in these, but as far as actually playing, I don't know if I could, just because I don't know what to expect out of it every time that I take a step.
I agree.
Yeah, and another thing, it's just not really like a standout in any way. Like it does everything well, like we talked about. It's got pretty good traction. It's like pretty bouncy from what we saw. But nothing's just like awesome on the shoe. Like Kicks Genius kind of talked about it in their review of the shoe, of comparing it to how like the Kyrie line. When you get a Kyrie shoe, you know that shoe is going to have insane traction. You're going to be insanely quick in that shoe. But this doesn't have anything that makes you like stand out and be like, wow, like I gotta hoop in the KDs again. Like it's a pretty boring shoe in that respect.
Can I say one more really nitpicky thing?
Yeah.
So we'll probably have a clip of it, but I could barely even tie these shoes with the laces they sent with it. And that's pretty frustrating. I don't have a big foot for the shoe by any means. It fits me really well and I could barely tie it. I could barely get one single knot in it, and I like to play in my shoes fairly loose. If not, I have some calf problems, but anyway, I like to tie my shoes pretty loose, and I still could barely even get one knot out of them. So that's kind of frustrating. Yeah,
they came with like short laces, but
that are also a colorway that you can't just replace with black or white laces.
Yeah, so the laces are so specific to this shoe, but also seems like they weren't made for the shoe at all. So it's like, you know,
pretty nitpicky, but I just
kind of wonder
what
they're doing there.
See if anybody else has had that problem.
Yeah.
What would you rate these bad boys? Overall, out of 10.
Out of 10, you know, if I'm just saying like all around as like a hoop shoe in general, I'm honestly only giving these things like a 5, maybe a 6 if I'm being generous, because
of the instability.
Yeah. And like I said, it just, nothing stands out on it. It's such an average shoe with like a couple of fatal flaws. And so I don't know if I would just want to like hoop in these. But we're not hoopin' donuts, we're Dunkin' Bronuts.
There you go.
So, I mean, we're kind of just focused on, can I get up in these things? And when I do, I get up. So, I mean, just on a dunking rating, I'm going to give them like maybe a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, I think I'd give them an 8 jumping. I'm kind of with you on the playing in them. That really flat bottom just kind of makes the shoe a little unstable and hard to play and hard to make cuts. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when I got my foot placement right and felt comfortable trying to explode, I actually really liked these. There wasn't that wow factor like with a shoe like the Dame 4.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I wore that shoe, it was like almost blew my mind a little bit. It felt so bouncy and so comfortable and light. Mm-hmm. And I didn't exactly get that with this, but it did feel really good. I felt like I was jumping better than I have in a long time. And I don't know, I think the shoe helped a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think that definitely sums it up. I mean, kind of my final thoughts on it, like super comfy material, like I said, like
you maybe could wear that casual.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like I could just definitely just walk around in these. Yeah. Between that full length Zoom and the Flyknit, these would honestly be a sick daily. And yeah, I did talk like quite a bit of trash about them, about like not thinking that they're the greatest performers. But at the end of the day, like I said, I was getting bouncier than I feel like I do most days in them. So I really can't talk too much trash because I was jumping in them.
I think overall it's a really good shoe.
Yeah, I think it's solid. If you're not looking to be like much of a cutter or anything, like I would say this is a great big man shoe. This is a big man shoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. I give them a thumb.
KD 10.
They don't get 2 thumbs. They get a thumb.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye, Mom.
Channeling my inner KD, that 7-foot wingspan, just a little bit up.
Oh, it's casual.
I'm not even jumping. What'd you do to my brother? Who is this?
This is a 210-pound machine, Logan.
I leave you for 9 weeks and you come back pulling 360s on me?
270?
I mean, it's close. It's something.
Generous 360. You know what else I do? Oh, I can
wet.
shoot.
Oh, no. Sorry about that.
No, I can't.